Why, hello there. Today we are going to be talking about why magic and the Vanishing Wheelchair. Making people look away from the disability and finding the ability of the person. Hi there, my name is TJ Schimmeld. I'm one of the founders and president of the Vanishing Wheelchair. Here today to discuss with you a little bit about why we chose magic as sort of the theme to the Vanishing Wheelchair. My background is as a magician, hence we are filming in my magic studio today. And I started magic at the age of 11. I did my first professional magic show. I had been kind of practicing little things since I was 7. And this guy behind me here, Walter B. Gibson, was one of the first magicians that I had read. Went to the library and got a book about magic, and Walter Gibson became an influence in my life. This is actually the first book I ever wrote, Walter B. Gibson in the Shadow. He was sort of well known for creating the Shadow, the old-time radio show, Who Knows What Evil Lurks in the Hearts of Men, The Shadow Knows. And he wrote a lot of the pulp fiction novels that were eventually turned into the radio show and movies and TV and all sorts of things. And a lot of people know Walter from The Shadow. And a lot of people also know him from the magic world. Walter, you may have heard of Harry Blackstone, Houdini, Howard Thurston. These are names we know from the golden age of magic as a result of Walter Gibson and his writing. And my magic mentor was actually Walter's nephew, Wendell Gibson. And I've kind of taken on Wendell's name as my stage characters, known as Wendell Wandell. And magic has been a key role in my life. For many years, it has done wonders for me as having a side business. I always had money in high school, doing shows on the weekend. In college, I was always doing shows, so it helped put me through school. And when I came to North Carolina, the first place I went was Magic Central, the magic shop in Asheville, and met Ricky D. Boone, very inspirational guy, and the two of us had started the Vanishing Wheelchair. And Ricky is one of those people, he is in a wheelchair, and when he rolls out on stage, a lot of people have a judgment about that when they see that. And I know I did when I first met Ricky. I couldn't believe all the accomplishments he had, all the awards he'd won, the people he'd met, the things he had accomplished in magic despite his disability. And when he rolls out on stage, there's that judgment, there's that quick, if it's good or bad, or feeling sorry for him. He does his comedy, he does his magic, and then the most amazing trick of all, the wheelchair vanishes. Now, it's still actually there, he needs it to get around, but we, as the audience and people who get to know him, no longer see the wheelchair. We just see the person. And so that's where the concept of the Vanishing Wheelchair came about and why we use magic. Magic fools the eye, and we can't trust what we're seeing. And so we use magic to change our minds. Take a look at this. The red handkerchief. We can take that red handkerchief, tuck it in like so, a little magic, and look. It comes out green. Ooh, pretty cool, huh? In the top red, out the bottom green, in the top red, out the bottom green. And you see, by using magic, we can illustrate the changes that we have, that magic can accomplish in anybody's life if we know the secret. And not the secret to magic itself, but the secret of looking at life differently. You see, magic is all about misdirection. The magician is very known for their, ready? Magic wands. This is my little miniature Harry Potter style magic wand. The little Miniosa wand, my pocket wand that I carry with me is Wendell Wandell. I use a lot of times when I go into hospitals and perform for children. And the magic wand is actually used as what they call misdirection in magic. So I can be pointing over here with the wand, and the wand is actually used a lot in magic to misdirect what might be happening. So as I was doing the red and green, changing the red handkerchief to a green handkerchief, there's a little bit of the wording and my movements and things that are misdirecting where you're looking and where you're not looking. And traditionally, that's why magicians use magic wands. Well, the Vanishing Wheelchair is all about taking that aspect, making people look away from the disability and finding the ability of the person. Just like Ricky Boone, looking away from the wheelchair he's in and no longer seeing the wheelchair, but seeing his ability as a comedian and a magician. And so that's what we do with the Vanishing Wheelchair, by getting people to look differently. And this is well illustrated. This is a wonderful book, Magic Hall, A Study of the Magician's Art, The True Secrets of Magic by Beverly Suzanne. She had a friend illustrate, and you may have seen different things like this, and I think this is a wonderful illustration of being able to look at life differently. So there I am, minus a top hat. I can say it's me, it's not really me, but you understand. Handkerchief, right? A magic silk handkerchief. But if we look at that through different eyes, as Randy Crane, one of our founders, said, we can look with our human eyes, see what's on the outside. Or we can look with our heart, my heart's over here, our heart and our spiritual eyes and see a person for who they are on the inside. So if we learn through magic to look at life differently, we can look at this illustration and see a handsome magician doing a magic trick. Or if we could just change our perspective, we now see that this is actually an illustration of a rabbit in a top hat being pulled out by a magician, the traditional magic rabbit in a hat. The magician doing silk magic, the magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat. So you see, it is all about perspective. All about perspective and how we see life. And that is our key with the Vanishing Wheelchair and why we use magic. There are great illusions on stage built specifically to trick the eye. There's a great one we use when we do bigger shows. It's called the Zigzag Lady. And a person gets into this box. They are cut into thirds and their middle is pulled out to the side. It's a wonderful illusion. Very visual magic. And there's a lot to it that's in there tricking the eye, that it's more there than what it seems. And magic is that key. If we know, seeing a magic show, and we laugh and we're fooled and we don't know how the magician did it, we know right there what Randy Crane said, that you can't trust your eyes. We need to look deeper. We need to change our perspective to see each other for who we truly are. If we just stopped and got to know one another, our world may change. And this is my shout out this week. It happens to be the last week of October, is considered National Magic Week. And Harry Houdini, the great escape artist, who we know a lot because of Walter Gibson, worked for Harry, wrote a lot of his books. Why we know the name today, still talking about Harry Houdini, died on October 31st. And that is celebrated in the magic world as National Magic Day. And so the week leading up to that is National Magic Week. So I hope this video today has changed your perspective a little bit, and maybe, just maybe, you stop and look at others, not with the human eyes and see what's on the outside, but look with your heart, look with the magician's eye to see what's on the inside, and how people with disabilities, we want to look, misdirect away from the disability and look and raise everyone up by their ability. I hope you subscribe to our channel. Visit us at vanishingwheelchair.org, share this with friends, and join our journey.